We're good.
Welcome to Dinner Time Devotions here at the chapel. My smile is a little bigger than usual because we're getting close to regathering here for weekend services. If you haven't heard the news, our plan is to have our first weekend services on Saturday, the 27th of June, and Sunday, the 28th of June. Just yesterday, we had a practice session because we don't know how to seat people, keeping 6 foot between different families or different individuals. So we had a practice. It went very well. About 170 people came to help us test our system, and it got all green lights. We're ready to go. And we're looking forward to the day when all of us are back here regathering at the chapel. What we did yesterday is we had a devotion out of Romans chapter 16, and I'm going to use some of the study I did for that devotional during these devotionals this week. Romans chapter 16 is one of those flyover passages that you skip them because it's just packed with names, 27 names. Some of them are really easy to pronounce, like Mary and Rufus. But Aristobulus, Andronicus, Junias, I'm never sure whether I'm getting them right. So I went online and I found different texts of the Bible that were read out loud, and I listened carefully to how they pronounced them. And then I went to another passage and they pronounced them differently. So I'm just going to use the Hawkes' Free Pronunciation Guide for this listing. And at first it's going to seem a little lighthearted to just keep hearing this, greet so-and-so, greet so-and-so. But if you listen, there are some unbelievable comments that Paul makes in praise of people who changed the world, people who made a difference. Here's Romans chapter 16, beginning with verse 1. I commend to you our sister Phoebe, a servant of the church in Cenchrea. I ask you to receive her in the Lord in a way worthy of the saints, and to give her any help she may need from you, for she has been a great help to many people, including me. This woman's name is Phoebe, and archaeologists have done some digging around the Middle East, and they found a picture of Phoebe, and here's the picture of her. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my fellow workers in Christ Jesus. They risked their lives for me. Not only I, but all the churches of the Gentiles are grateful to them. Greet the church that meets in their house. Greet my dear friend Epenetus, who was the first convert to Christ in the province of Asia. Greet Mary, who worked very hard for you. Greet Andronicus and Junias, my relatives, who were in prison with me. They are outstanding among the apostles. They were in Christ before I was. Greet Ampliatus, whom I love in the Lord. Greet Urbanus, my fellow worker in Christ, and my dear friend Stachys. Greet Apelles, tested and approved in Christ. Greet those who belong to the household of Aristobulus. Isn't this getting exciting, all these names? Greet Herodion, my relative. Greet those in the household of Narcissus who are in the Lord. Greet Tryphena and Tryphosa, those women who worked hard in the Lord. Greet my dear friend Persis, another woman who has worked very hard in the Lord. Greet Rufus, chosen in the Lord, and his mother, who has been a mother to me also. Greet Asyncritus, Phlegon, Hermas, Patrobas, Hermes. Greet the brothers with them. Greet Philologus, Julia, Nereus, and his sister, and Olympas, and all the saints with them. Now, this is why I jokingly call it a flyover passage, because if you're reading through Romans and it's got its tough parts, you come to this and say, what is this all about? And the point we made this week in our devotions is this is a list of names of people who made a difference, people who loved God and who gave their life to Him. So here we have a list of wonderful people who made a difference. Paul commended them, and he commended them highly. He spoke of them who worked hard for me and for you, who worked hard in the Lord, people who served one another. And their names are known by God. And what we want you to know more than anything else is your name is known by God. He knows who you are. He knows what you have done. He knows how you've loved Him and how you've served Him. He knows that you gave your testimony at a Celebrate Recovery meeting. He knows that you told your story at a discipleship walk. He knows about the struggle with your faith and your finances and your future, and He cares deeply about you. And as much as He has these people's name, God has your name in His heart. He loves you. Before I sign off and say goodbye, let me remind you of the food drive that's going on here in the chapel. It's really a citywide effort. It's not just our church. Many churches and many ministries are helping. This is a time when people are really counting on the kindness of others, and we want to be the hands and the feet of Jesus, and this is one of the best ways I know to do that. If you need more details, call the chapel office any weekday, 625-6200, and they'll give you more details.